Okay, hold on. Okay, just give me a minute to make sure that things are okay. It
Your
shows
group is
live lah.
also called Learning Out of the Box.
Sorry?
Your group is also called Learning Out of the Box, is it?
Yeah, LOB. Yeah, never mind. It's already live. Okay. Okay, let me just mute that side. Otherwise, it will be echo. Okay, hello parents. Thanks so much for being here and 恭喜发财 again. And today I have a very special guest and she is into microgreens. So just now I asked her what is that and I also don't know what's that. So later she'll tell you us more lah. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello Dina. Thanks for being here.
Hi everyone. I'm honored to be invited to Learning Out of the Box. I've seen many videos sharing to all the parents, which is very good.
Okay, Dina, first of all, I think could you share with us like what are you going to talk about? Okay, so before you start, all right, parents, today we are going to talk about how can we help your family and you to eat right, and then also how to upkeep your family's health with microgreens. And when I talk about this, I think one of the things that comes to my mind is when you have a happy life, you also have a happy wife. Yeah, with a happy wife, everyone is happy. So this is also actually very important, as much as it's also related to how to help your child to do well. Okay, so back to you. Yeah, tell us more about why this topic and how is it how does it affect the family? Yeah.
Okay, great. So maybe I will just give everyone like what we're going to cover today. All right, so that everyone expect. Basically, today's topic is on microgreens. Is basically how I use microgreens to introduce nutrients to my children, to my own kids. Today, I'm a nutrition and dietetic coach. So basically, what I do is I give one-to-one private coaching to mainly adults, but I also support parents with young children, especially who are fussy eaters. I don't know, John, do your kids like vegetables?
Last
vegetables?
time when they were younger, they don't like lah. But still, I practice what's on your plate, must finish it.
Okay. Yeah. But it's very common these days, actually. We start to see a lot of young children or children, they are eating, because we are influenced by a lot of so-called convenience food or the fast food, right? The temptation is too much. It's everywhere. The marketing is everywhere. So we really cannot blame the children, so to speak. And by the way, for me, so I will be sharing a little story about, how I started this whole thing, what happened to my family and my kids, right? Then I'm going to talk about so as a parent, as a parent of a mother of two sons, so they are 9 and 11 this year.
And I got three girls.
3 girls, so yeah. So they were very sick when they were young. And they are actually my biggest motivation why I started this whole thing. Yeah. So and what started out as a project for me to teach my children about Mother Nature, getting closer back to Mother Nature, learning about soil, growing things. And through there, I actually found that when I teach it to even my friends who kids hardly eat vegetables, they are very willing to accept these microgreens because of something, and I'm going to share that later on. Okay, then we're going to talk through also about the benefits of these microgreens. I have some slides to share later on, and actually how can you go and eat them, right? Yeah. Then later we can also see if there's any questions from the field, like what they would like to understand more in terms of I actually support a lot of my clients in terms of building up the immunity of the children, but through whole food.
Yeah.
So you can tell I'm not a big advocate of using supplements. I think we still use supplements sometimes when we need it, like when they are really sick, just to do that boost. But I try to find whole food to do nutrient boost and through daily things that you can incorporate. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Mm.
I think afterwards, I appreciate if you can share with us, like is the meaning of microgreen, and then some example, and also as much as whole food is a simple word, yeah. And I think in the market there is a lot of misconception on that as well.
Right.
What's really whole food?
Exactly.
Yeah, even I'm not very sure as well. Yeah, maybe French
Mm.
fries to me is a one whole French fries is whole food. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So parents, while you are still here, let me explain why are we doing this. Is because as you can see, while we want our children to do well in school, right? At the same time, our children are what they eat. Yeah, I mean, what goes to our mouth becomes who we are, and it gives us the energy. And of course, good food gives us more energy, I suppose. Not eating right also has the opposite effect as well. And sometimes you may find that your child is not energetic, doesn't have that. What we call that? How the 神气? What you call that in English? Doesn't have that confidence, or like looks very sleepy. Yeah, probably is also pegged to what you have been feeding him. So parents, I hope that you can learn more from Dina so that you can we can all make sure that our kids eat healthily, which can also affect them and help them to do well in school as well. Okay.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Great.
So back to you. Yeah.
Okay. So allow me to share screen.
While Dina is sharing her screen, parents, anything, please feel free to post in the Facebook page so that I can bring a question to Dina.
Okay. All right. So first of all, let me just do a quick introduction of myself. So actually, I have always been in the corporate industry, in the lighting industry for the last 22 years. I really came out on my own and started doing this whole thing in 2021, right? But the pursuit of this whole health journey started like easily coming to 13 years now, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so that's when I started to get, the moment I got pregnant, like I started to go on this whole health journey. So today I'm a certified health coach, right? And I also went further to go into diet and nutrition from both the Eastern way and the Western way, okay? Because we are still Asian after all, right? Yeah. And so some history. I have 22 years in semiconductor industry. So I left for the health and wellness industry in 2021.
Nice.
And I've supported, so I did join a company that do some kind of wellness program, and I supported 300 people doing some kind of detox cleansing. In terms of microgreens, which I'm going to share more, what is microgreens? I have taught over close to 500 packs of microgreen students to date. Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, I do a lot of private coaching, one-to-one, for people who are looking for weight loss, which is so common, right? And or even want to gain weight, like sarcopenia for the elderly, people with diabetes. In fact, I start to see even very young children start to have pre-diabetic problems, which is very alarming, okay? Women with thyroid issues. SIBO is actually small intestinal bowel bacterial overgrowth. So people get acid reflux, bloating, and all that. And the big part of me, and I'm so happy to be invited to this community, is because I like to reach out more to parents, especially with young children, because I mean, as a parent, we all know that if our children, just now you mentioned happy wife, happy life, right?
Happy, it's the other way around.
Is
Sorry,
that
I got it the other way around. My gosh, I'm so nervous. Okay.
Yeah,
Happy
happy
wife, then you have
wife,
happy life
happy
for the
life, correct.
family.
Yeah. But for me, is healthy children, happy life. Yeah. Okay. So I would say, I think most parents would have to agree with me. And I'm a volunteer at a hospice care as well. Right? I teach microgreens as well. I'm also a trainer teaching in one of the nutrition school in Singapore.
Wow.
Yeah, so just to share with you some popular topics that I'm doing, like microgreens. I also talk about, like in the last 1 year, I've been doing a lot of this webinars, like whether should you buy organic fruits and vegetables, and some alternate milk, like because these days a lot of young children are actually sensitive to cow's milk, or they have eczema issues, right? Or lactose intolerant. So I actually teach, what are the alternative and all that. And also a big part of me is getting our younger generation back and closer to Mother Nature by growing things and edibles at home. Yeah. So besides that, I also went on to take on emotional eating, because I do see this as a big issue. Like in the US, eating disorder can be quite common. And Singapore is also catching up this symptom.
Eating disorder, sorry. What do you mean by
eating disorder? Like, people who are anorexic, that means they eat, then they go and force themselves to vomit. Yeah, or they don't eat at all, so that these are all eating disorder, and it happens a lot because it comes with stress, actually. Yeah. And also there's a part about, body image and all that. I mean, these days when we are on internet, everything we can be influenced by from the North America markets, right? So that's where our kids get exposed. Oh, I want to look like that. Oh, I want to be muscular like that. Or I want to be lean and trim like that. And then when they look into it, so that's where, there's a lot of not say misinformation, there's too much information out there that we start to see this issue coming in. Yeah. And I also went into, so my approach is mostly from the functional standpoint. What do you mean by functional? It means we look at root cause rather than symptoms. Okay, so I specialize in, coming out with different food plans. So all my why I do mostly one-to-one coaching is because I believe everybody is different. So all my plans is customized and personalized for individuals. Yeah. And these are some of the other modalities that I, do to keep myself. But I find that it helps, because when I learned all this, I was able to, guide some of my clients, even young children. Like when I learn all this, it helps for my own children as well. Right. Yeah. I'm now in the progress of learning blood chemistry. So what is blood chemistry? Means I will be able to read blood report. Like from a blood test report, I could tell like what are the potential issues you could have. Like from the blood test report, I could tell that you're not drinking enough water. Right. So, and if you continue to do so, you look at, there's some inflammation marker that may come up soon. And herbalism is something that is my passion. So I'm doing that as a side as well.
Herbalist means the study of herbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually miss an opportunity to learn TCM back when I was in the 20s. Because I myself was actually a very sick baby, from young. I'm always sick. My immune system is very bad. Maybe that's why my kids also got, that from me. So I was very big on TCM in my early, from teenage years to 20s. And I had an opportunity to learn from a 医师 from 中华医院, 中华 Hospital. But that time we were young. I mean, I was young. I thought, I don't want to commit to such things. So now sort of regret. So now I'm taking out herbalism because I find that I just want, because my approach is more on whole food, which I'm going to explain more what is whole food, and more on natural remedy. Yeah. And Chinese herbs are good, but it is also medicinal. So I like to use more natural remedies so that I can teach more people how to use it from your day to day. It doesn't have to be a diagnose. Then you can utilize certain things, certain herbs. Okay. Yeah. So John, I'm going to ask you and maybe the audience on Facebook. Okay. Let's take a look at some pictures. Okay. What's this? economical bihun, huh? And I'd like you to tell, I'd like to tell me what do you see in common with all these food, okay? Fishball noodle, roti
Wow, my
prata.
favorite.
Yeah,
I'm
nasi
hungry
lemak.
already.
Okay, and McDonald's. What do you see in common about all this?
Yeah. Okay, I see processed food. I mean, for the fact that we are on this chat, I cannot be funny. I need to be serious. Yeah. So giving good explanations. These are processed food, and I think they are not natural. Like they need to be cooked. Yeah. Again, yeah. Now I feel like I'm a student, and then you're going to grade me whether John, based on what you say, I know that you have been eating junk food.
Actually, these are actually staples of what we have in Singapore. It's a very typical breakfast or Asian food that we have, right? Okay, basically what I want to, yeah, you got a bit deeper, so very casual, okay? Actually, what you see in common is lack of vegetables. Don't you see? That spring onion in that fishball.
There's spring onion, good enough already.
Good enough, you think?
Plus chili.
Yeah, chili also vegetable, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so these are no vegetables as well, right? One slice of cucumber. So you will start to notice that actually a lot of our hawker fare or our Asian food is very high carbs, not enough vegetables. This is an issue. Now, when we talk about whole food or not, yeah, like hash brown is definitely not the whole food, but eggs is whole food. Okay. This what do you call this? Kuning fish, is it?
Oh.
Yeah, this kind of small fish is also whole food.
Whole food.
It's a whole
Okay,
food.
can you define whole food?
So whole food is basically anything that you see in its original form. For example, you want to eat chicken, like even if you eat a drumstick, it is whole food. But is chicken nugget a whole food?
No, it's processed.
Yeah, it's processed. Is fish cake a whole food?
Fish cake, wow, all these are 高难度, like high level question. No.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, so fish cake. Okay, some people think that fish cake is made from fish, how can it be not a whole food, eh? But because they add a lot of flour in there as well. But by the way, if you're going to make fish ball yourself from scratch, yes, that's considered whole food still. Okay. Yeah, but the sodium is actually pretty high. For those who have tried to make fish ball on your own, you will know that you actually have to put a lot of salt in there. Okay. So yeah. But most of our fish ball that you can find from the supermarket, unless you find stores that really make fresh, 自己手打的, really handmade fish ball, yes, then that may be whole fish. But otherwise, most of the fish ball that we get in the supermarket, just look at the ingredients. There's flour in there. Okay. Yeah. So next question. Now, if I were to say that one fish size, so the focus is on vegetables first. If I were to say that one fish size is one serving of vegetables, can you make a guess how many servings of vegetables should we be having in one day?
Wow.
In a day. Make a guess. Or how much vegetables are you eating in one day? Like one fish size, how much
later I share 0. I think you'll scold me.
Cannot be 0 Cannot be 0.
Okay lah. Just now I had to be honest, just now I had a one fish size of broccoli. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So if let's say we
look
have
at
to
one
take
whole day,
one whole day, if let's say considering we take 3 meals, but most people will only eat vegetables for lunch and dinner. Yeah. But I think based on what you asked, right, probably 3 fish size a day at minimum.
So you are eating around 3 fish size per day?
Me no lah, probably 1.5. Yeah.
Oh, 1.5. Okay, but you're saying that we should be eating about 3 fish size.
I think lah. Yeah. Better say more than say less. Later kena scolded.
So Health Promotion Board guideline is about 2 to 3 servings.
Okay.
Fruits and vegetables per day. Okay. Now actually we need 7 to 9 serving.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. 7 to 9 serving per day to get enough nutrients that we need for each day. Okay. Why is it getting more? Actually, in the past, like 5 years ago, is 5 to 7. when I studied nutrition. They say 5 to 7. These days they change already. They change to 7 to 9. Do you know the reason why? Do you want to make a guess?
Okay. My guess will be probably the nutrition in the food is getting less, so you have to eat more.
Exactly.
Oh,
There's
I anyhow guess one.
No, you got it. Actually, a lot of things. I think we are actually in the information overload, right? Yeah. So so what happened is there's a lot of soil depletion these days. I mean, compared to what 20, 30 years ago. So they found that the nutrients level in the soil has started to drop. So whatever vegetables we grow from the soil is also not as high as before. Therefore, we need to eat more servings of vegetables. And another reason is also because of the lifestyle that we have, more stress, more. Do you know Singapore? I was just doing this topic recently on sleep. Singapore is rated world #1 for sleep deprivation.
Not really.
World #1, lack of sleep. Singapore is world #1.
Number one.
Yeah.
Is that something that we should be proud of?
No. we shouldn't. Yeah. So with all that taking into consideration, and therefore we need to have more fruits and vegetables to get more phytonutrients. Okay. But ideally, if you ask me, right, if we can work on at least 5 servings per day, is very reasonable. I think this is more easy to achieve, like able to achieve if we try to work towards 5 servings, at least 5 servings per day. Okay. But like you say, when I say 5 servings, you say for you take about 1.5, maybe at most 2 feast size if you make a conscious effort.
Yeah.
So how to get to 5? Actually, it can be quite tricky if you are eating out, especially if you're eating out. If you're still cooking at home, still not too bad. Okay. So this is from the latest MOH statistics, just to share that, cancer is the top cause of death in Singapore. Now, 5 years ago, it's actually heart disease. So with all the efforts, the lower sodium, lower sugar, that one's for BT diabetes, but the lower sodium actually helps a lot. But now cancer is upcoming, is top. And I can tell you in the next 5 years will be mental wellness. And therefore, you see a lot of programs, talks, workshops on mental wellness. So this is also coming up. So John, a lot of people always ask me, hey Tina, like that cannot lah. I just eat supplements right? Multi-supplements, multivitamins like this, right? You have everything, vitamin A, C, whatever. You look at it, everything you need. So all in this one pill. Now, what's wrong with this is I want to bring your attention is to this other ingredient that's added. Now, usually, when they have to make a multivitamin capsule or tablet, they have to add binders and additives in order to bind all these things in together. Okay. Yeah. So have you heard of people saying that, oh, you take supplements, you must drink a lot of water, otherwise too heaty, very heaty. Have you heard of this?
No, it's my first time. Is it true?
First time. It's true in a certain sense because most of the multivitamins are in very, very high concentration. So you actually need to drink a lot of water in order to let the body flush out whatever excess. And so I don't want to go too deep into it, but I'm not saying all supplements are like that, but usually multivitamins, especially the very high dosage one, firstly, our body may not absorb everything in one time, one shot. So what happened is they will just have to, the body will automatically say that the excess, please release out from the body. Okay. And what happens if you don't drink enough water? Because water is needed in order to pee out. Either you pee or you go and poo out. So that's how the excess being taken out from your body. But if you don't drink enough water, all this excess keeps staying in the body. Then it becomes burden to your liver. Okay. When the liver is overworked, very stressful, have to work extra hard, because this is why I churn filter already, I still have to filter again. And therefore, heatiness, so-called in layman term, we think that it's heatiness is because actually the liver is overworking. I try to explain in a very simple way, but there's actually more to it. There's more to it, the whole process.
Yeah, and I think that while as you share that we have to drink more water to reduce the heatiness, right? I think this also open up another can of worms, and I think most of us, including myself, is not drinking enough water. Yeah.
You know, John, the first thing that I work on with my clients for 1 week, I do nothing, but the first week is just work on hydration. That's all I work on. I can tell you, everybody that come to me, everybody have to work on hydration. Yeah. Okay, so let me move on. So
Sure.
so vitamins also. Now, when you look at vitamins, they always have a label behind that says caution, do not exceed recommended dose. Okay, so it really makes you think. When you eat whole food, like you eat fish, eat chicken, what happens if you overdose? Probably get diarrhea, right? At most if you really, really overeat. Okay, or you feel a bit unwell, but you won't overdose. Like there's no caution about eating whole food when you eat too much. Okay. Now even Amazon has been sued in 2021 for selling counterfeit supplements because there's too much these days. Too much. Okay. Yeah, so let me share so what happened to my family. This is my eldest son, Tyler. At 2 months old, he started to have cold, because first time mom, I didn't know, right? So I cut his hair, and then I didn't think, like they say that once first month you have to shave off all the hair, but I didn't wear the cap. I bring him go shopping some more, in the aircon, thinking that everything is fine. Then he started getting sick. And he keep getting sick every 2 weeks. So flu, running nose, fever, that's about 1 week. Then he will get better for 1 week. Then the 3rd week, he gets sick again. The whole thing start again. And this continued for 1 year. 1 year. Okay, I practically had to carry him. I call him my koala bear because he couldn't. There's a lot of phlegm at the throat.
Oh dear.
My second son, my younger son, at the age of 4 months old, have UTI. A boy also get UTI. UTI is a urinary tract infection. Okay, so we found that there's actually E. coli that actually went back into the bladder. Yeah. Okay, so hygiene is a big thing. So I'm not joking when I say that we are actually a regular. I'm actually you can call me a VIP already, at KK Hospital. Because I always run to. So back then, I didn't know what to do. Then first child, very kanchong. Everything, a little bit only, I just sent to KK. And when the doctor said that they have to be given antibiotics, so at the very young age, 2 months old, 4 months old, they're given rounds and rounds of antibiotics. Okay. I resort to spending a lot of money on expensive herbs as well. This whole zao is meant for relieving the phlegm in the throat, which is effective, but one speck like this, one small speck like this, when I feed them, I have to off all my fan, close all the window, because one speck like this cost me $100.
Yeah, it's 100 plus.
Yeah, only for one time, and I have to eat continuously for three days.
Yep.
So you can imagine. But today I'm very proud of them, right? Look at this. So I started incorporating and before this, actually I resort to all means and ways. I did a lot of MLM products as well, take a lot of supplements as well, but nothing works. Not say nothing works. It works, but it's not sustainable. So I decided to use whole food approach. And I first started off with juicing. So for parents out there, juicing is actually one very good method. Okay, if you have kids with who are fussy in terms of eating vegetables, because you ask them to eat is very difficult. Ask them to drink is possible. But don't give them things like that lah. This color, my boys are really well trained by me. That's why they can drink this cup of this cup of juice has about easily few kinds of vegetables. Mostly it's always 80% vegetables, 20% fruit. And my fruit is always limited to low sugar fruit like apples or lemon. Yeah, nothing else. I don't use mango, those high sugar fruit, which or orange. Orange ones, to start off, yes, you can do that. So juicing now becomes a weekly affair, right? And in fact, I didn't force this down on them, just to share a little bit of my story, how I get started. I was doing it for myself, right? Because I told you I'm a big mouth, so I always get sick often. So I was doing this, I learned this also because I was supporting this wellness company in terms of detox. So they use juices. So I thought that it's quite good to incorporate more nutrients to my life, because how to eat 7 to 9 servings of vegetables per day is actually very difficult. Very challenging.
Even for adults, I think it's also can be a big change for our diet.
Right. So because for me, in my corporate days, I lead a very high stress life. So I have very weak gut and stomach as well. So I get bloat easily. So I cannot eat too much vegetables. The fiber will kill me. So you name it, I have acid reflux, I have gastric, I have all sorts of things in the past as well. So the juicing became my solution, and I was juicing. So my boy, that time he was only 3-4 years old. Then he got curious. Then he said, "Oh, I want to help you." Then I just let him to. But that time he didn't try the juice. I didn't force also. So after that, so it was fun for them to throw in all the vegetables, because go through the machine and the juice come out. So I just say, "You want to try?" So they take one sip. Then not too bad. So since then, I started feeding them juice. Yeah. Okay. So this is my tips to all the parents. You can start from here. However, I really encourage you, please don't go full fruit. So like orange juice or apple juice, no. It has to be mixed with vegetables. If you are interested to learn more, like feel free to approach me. I can share with you some tips, or just follow me. I will share what are the things that I use, so you can just have an idea. Besides that, we also make nut milk, plant-based milk, because you remember I mentioned, like, for 1 year my boy was constantly sick, so I took away cow's milk, and that helped a lot. But they were still getting sick, but that helped a lot. So apparently my boys were sensitive to cow's milk, so not even goat milk. So I changed it to soy milk and go more plant-based instead. Yeah. So this brings me to my next topic about educating our younger ones where our food actually come from.
From NTUC.
From plastic bags. They think that, oh, chicken just come from plastic bags. John, do you know the original form of cashew nuts? Have you seen cashew nuts in original form?
Oh my gosh. Wow, when you ask me like that, I really...
Make a guess. Do you know, is it grown underground, like peanuts? Or is it grown on a plant, or underground or above the ground? Make a guess.
I was trying to do some quick recalls because recently I went to Desaru fruit plantation. So I was thinking, why they don't have cashew nuts there?
We have, in Singapore,
really
along the road.
Oh, the guide didn't tell me. Okay, so you're asking whether is it in the ground or is it above ground, is it?
Yeah. Is it grown above ground or under the ground? May I guess?
Okay, most nuts are found in the ground. If you ask like that, I think it's above ground.
Yes, correct. So cashew is actually grown on trees.
Oh, okay? Wow.
Yeah, so it's actually the pod of a cashew apple. The seed pod of the cashew apple. Yeah. This thing below here is actually the seed pod of a cashew apple grown on the tree. In fact, I saw this cashew tree in Punggol, along Punggol. Yeah, so anybody staying around Punggol, look out for that tree. You look out for this. So it's actually a cashew nut tree. Fries are made of, but this one you should know.
Potato. But
Potatoes.
is it really healthy potato or processed or modified with like DNA change?
Wow, that one, if you want to talk about GMO, that I can talk for another few hours.
Okay, that one is when I
But
meet you.
let's keep it simple first. So fries is
Okay.
made from potatoes, right? Okay. Okay, but if you ask me, is fries a whole food? I would say certain brand, like the very famous fast food chain, they add something to it. Okay. But if you make your own fries at home, cut from potatoes, yes, it is whole food.
Yeah.
Okay, it is whole food. But then why fries is no good? You ask me. It's because of the oil they use to fry in. Yeah, that's the issue. Usually we fry in vegetable oil, right? Yeah. So I like my kids, they enjoy fries as well. So I'll make fresh cut fries, cooked in healthier oil to enjoy sometimes. Yeah. But have you seen potatoes grown underground yourself personally?
Wow, this really feels like a science online quiz.
Science.
Okay, you're asking me what? Have I seen potato grown underground?
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe
Documentaries
yeah,
counted?
documentaries that, yeah. But
Yeah.
how many kids do that? Because when I ask my kids, do you know what fries, where fries are from? Oh,
McDonald.
they were watching something. No, they still say, oh, it's from France, because they say it's French fries. I don't know where they get the joke from. Anyway, I think it's from this storyboards, this show called Storyboards from Netflix, which is interesting. Okay, so I want to ask all the parents here, how many of our children, right, even yourself, like actually dig out potatoes from underground before, right? I think hardly these days. Yeah, unless you visit a farm where they really show this. So this whole thing let me think about, I want to start a new project with my kids, other than juicing, food and all that. I want to teach them about farming, gardening. So we started to grow our first plant called okra. Okra also known as a lady's finger. So when it first sprouted, I tell you, it's so amazing. You look at, so for parents who are looking for things to do, I mean, these days I think schools also, bring back growing kits for the children. It's a very popular thing now. So at some point, I think y'all went through this journey when the seeds pop up, right? Wow, you look at the kids' eyes will glitter with shine up. But sadly, at the age of, if you look at the picture on the right, we have to give away this lady finger because we don't have the space. I then realized that okra can actually grow up to 1 feet tall. So staying in HDB, I simply do not have the space and even the sunlight to grow. Then we say, okay, never mind. We grow leafy vegetables. Okay, I started growing lettuce. So it was growing okay, but it started to turn yellow due to the lack of sun. So my unit is actually in a very corner unit, so lack of sunshade. So those who have ample sun now, which is really good news for you. But I think there are many of us also staying in areas where we just don't get enough sun. All right. So for those staying in the apartments like HDB, right? So this is exactly my balcony corner. It's always shady most of the time. And then I found microgreens, right? So about 2.5 years ago, I found microgreens. That's when pandemic just started. So I go and learn more into it. And I found that, so what's this thing about microgreens? So microgreens is actually the young plants of all vegetables that we are eating. All. You name it. Your broccoli, your kale, your any vegetables. That's why it's called microgreens. So it is grown up to the first 7 days of it is called the microgreen stage. Have you heard of sprouts? Alfalfa sprouts?
Sprouts, yes. And I actually teach my children science. Is it same as seedling?
Seedlings, yeah, correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So seedling stage. Now, seedling stage can get up to 2 weeks, but this is really just 7 days. We call it the microgreen stage. Yeah. And we grow it in a way such that is meant to be harvested at the microgreen stage, not for the leafy, not to be grown into a full-grown vegetables. Okay. So what's so good about this microgreens is actually it is a polyphenol powerhouse. What's polyphenol? Such a big word. You just understand it as something like an antioxidant that our body needed for reducing inflammation. Okay, so I have one chart here to show. So what does so at 500 mg is supposed to help to reduce oxidative stress, 1000 mg to reduce inflammation, 1005 is even to help in terms of reduce aging and increase this mitochondria, which is something that you need it for your immune system. Just very simple layman term. So what does 1000 mg of polyphenols look like? You have to eat 1.5 cups of blueberries. Broccoli, you say broccoli, you eat one fist size, right? You have to eat 5.5 cups, to get 1000 mg.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and this cup size is how big is a cup?
Standard. No, the standard 1 cup size. Like if you do baking, there's those standard 1 cup. Or like, when you drink kopi, that kind of small kopi cup, that is 1 cup. Okay?
Oh, okay, got it.
5.5 cups of broccoli you have to eat here, and cauliflower and spinach even more. But microgreens, in fact, I have some microgreens now. Let me just show you. Because I have a class tomorrow.
Wow, are you going to bring this to your... Okay, maybe you can stop share, and then in the meantime, so that we can have a bigger view of your microgreens, which look really micro.
Oops.
Yeah, parents, if you are here with us, just drop a hi, and in case you're wondering what does this got to do with maths, actually on a bigger picture, we want to give you more information to help your child to eat healthily, because we also want to look at the exam performance in a sense that that everything is related to the food that they eat. When you feed them with good stuff, good things happen. At the same time, the opposite is true as well. Feed them with junk food, the opposite effect will take place also. So gotta eat right. Okay, maybe what I can do
is... Can you help me to stop share? I seem to lose... You're able to...
Okay, I try. Okay, can. Okay, can already.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
then afterwards, you just say
can
share. Okay, you have to hold close to you, because the camera will capture your face with the greens. Okay.
Okay, can you see?
Oh,
so
wow.
These are actually reddish microgreens. Yeah. So okay.
And these are 7 days old.
7 days old. This is actually 6 days. 6 days. So tomorrow can harvest ready.
And you can fry them and eat them.
We usually eat it raw because the nutrients is best. So you can see as tauge, bean sprouts. Yeah, that is sprouts. So that is grown in 3 days. So if you let it grow another 4 more days, that will be the microgreen stage. Yeah. So one tray like this, just now I showed here, one tray like this can give you 2000 mg.
That's a bargain.
2000 mg. Yeah. So therefore you don't need to eat a lot, and that's why I really use this to nutrient boost for my whole family in terms of the nutrients.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, might I ask, why is it okay? What is the science explanation behind like such a small quantity gives much more than the big boys?
We have to thank a guy. He is actually a scientist, but also a chef. He actually did a test. So there's actually research paper to show the nutrients level of these microgreens. Then he found that, wow, the nutrients are actually much higher. So the explanation is that, all seeds all purpose of a seed, or so-called the life purpose of a seed, is to grow into a plant. Once they touch water and see light, they will start to grow. That's their purpose. But have you ever think like, seeds, why they don't need fertilizer and they can just grow? What gives them the energy to grow?
They are
Because,
like the power booster, like a factory that's self-contained. Yes, everything.
Correct. So that one seed is packed with nutrient dense, in order for them to grow. So when you eat it at a very young stage, the nutrients are all there. It's packed the most. But when we grow into a full-grown leafy vegetables, yes, because in terms of volume, it gets more, but actually fiber is the key thing. Okay, and of course, there's many other nutrients. But this guy, actually, I can't remember his name now, but he actually found that he go and test in the lab and found that the nutrients level is much higher. So I give you this example. So red cabbage, or we call it purple cabbage. So one tray, like the tray that I showed just now, if you eat one tray, is equal to eating 4 pieces of whole purple cabbage. Whole purple cabbage. Can you eat whole 4 pieces? Don't say 4 lah. 1 also, I think we cannot eat already. Don't,
I will have nightmare and I will vomit out.
Exactly. Okay. Look at the nutrients level in compared to its mature counterpart. 40 times more vitamin E, 6 times more vitamin C, and 69 times more vitamin K. Okay. And therefore you don't need to eat a lot. Okay, broccoli is my number one. Actually, broccoli and red cabbage is both my top microgreens that I always grow for my family and myself to eat. Okay, because these two has been tested to have the highest nutrients among all the microgreens. Okay, but I still encourage eating a variety because we always want to have a variety, because every vegetables have its own set of so-called nutrients. Okay, so broccoli, one thing is the sulforaphane is the highest, and sulforaphane has been tested to help in especially people with cancer. Cancer, yeah. Sunflower shoots, sunflower seeds, not the gui that we eat, but another kind, but it's also that kind of sunflower seeds. If you grow them into a shoots, this is so yummy. This is very, all my students, none of them say that they don't like this. All of them love it. Okay, because there's this crunchy, very refreshing taste that is a bit nutty and buttery as well. So this is a very good option for people who are vegetarian. Okay, because it contains essential amino acids, which is what most of the vegetarians need, because they may not get from meat source. Okay, so I will do a little bit sharing, like so we can grow all kinds of vegetables as a microgreens, with the exception of these 4 plants. Okay, so parents, please take note here. If you're going to try to grow microgreens on your own, these 4 plants absolutely cannot grow as microgreens. Tomato, chili, brinjal, and capsicum. They are also known as a nightshade food. So nightshade food is known to have some kind of a toxicity. So it can be an issue for people who have very sensitive body, especially people with autoimmune disease. Have you heard of autoimmune disease?
Autoimmune disease, is it where the body actually start to fight against itself?
Correct. Yeah, the immune system go and fight its own immune system back again. And so symptoms can be like a skin flare up, right? Then you start to have fatigue and all kinds of so this is getting more and more common these days. But they couldn't really find a exact reason why, because everybody is different. So the thyroid cases that I'm working on, I mean, my clients that I work with, my clients, most of them are part of autoimmune disease. That's why they have this. So it still goes back to the thyroid function and all that. So for so extra tips here, please eat seaweed. Okay, which is make sure you have some source of iodine, because iodine is the one that helps your thyroid function. And your thyroid is like another control tower to take care of all the hormones in the body. Okay, so I think seaweed is something that a lot of seaweed, mushroom, all this, we tend not to eat it, unlike leafy green vegetables, because we use the vegetables, must eat more vegetables. Okay, I'm going to eat cai xin, gailan, broccoli and all that. But actually seaweed, mushrooms, all these are very, very important as well. Okay.
When you talk about seaweed, is it all kinds of seaweed? Because when you talk about seaweed, it's like, you
All
reminded me of,
kinds.
I go NTUC again and buy, and then they are quite salty. I mean, seaweed snack.
Those seaweed snack, okay. Actually, those seaweed snack is also good. However, you have to check ingredients, because these days when I look at those seaweed, those Korean seaweed snacks,
Yep.
they have a lot of other additives inside, which is not good. But the seaweed itself is actually good.
So which one should we buy? Say we go and get a seaweed.
Try to get the raw ones. Especially the one that like most Asian, we will cook seaweed soup. Those.
Yep.
You have to soak and then it will fluff up. Yeah, that kind. Or you can take Japanese seaweed like kelps. It's also okay. Even the the sushi roll, the sushi sheet, like the seaweed sheet for making sushi, that is also okay, because that one has nothing. It's just seaweed and salt. That's all. But the one that you eat as a snack, that one have to be careful. You have to watch the ingredients.
Got it.
Okay, so going back to this nightshade food, so people who are very sensitive, not say you have to avoid totally, you have to watch the amount that you cannot eat too much. Okay, you cannot eat too much. If you feel that after eating all this, I always get indigestion, I will get tummy ache and all that, probably you are sensitive to nightshade food. Okay, nightshade food. Maybe you can type in the chat. Okay, nightshade. So you can Google what are nightshade foods. What is the issue? So when you grow them at microgreen stage, so when I mentioned microgreens has actually, there's about 100 over kinds of microgreens that we can grow. So the nutrients level can range from 4 to 40 times more compared to its mature counterpart. So imagine if you grow all these and eat it at the microgreen stage, the toxic level is also going to be 4 to 40 times more, depending. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share with you, for those who are interested, hey, then how am I going to start growing my own microgreens? So step number 1, okay, very, very easy. Step number 1, get some potting mix. So step number 1, okay, very, very easy. Got echo. Okay, and then get some seeds, microgreen seeds, okay. Sprinkle the seeds evenly on the soil. And then water it, and then after 24 hours, it will start to sprout. Okay. And then you can see, so by about day 4, it will look like that. It will look yellow. Unlike these are green already, right? Because I already exposed them to light. So they will start to turn green. This one's science, photosynthesis happens. Then it will start to turn green. Okay. Yeah. So in the first 3 to 4 days, we will keep them in the dark. We don't want them to see any light, because we want to force them to grow long and upwards so that we can harvest them easily. From day 4, day 5 onwards, then we will expose them to light, and then they will start to turn green. By day 7, you can harvest, which will look like this.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is by far the easiest. Like if you're new to gardening, new to farming, new to growing edibles, microgreens is the easiest, and I would highly recommend to start with this, especially for young kids, because 7 days, John, can you imagine? 7 days is very fast. Then they can see the growth stage very, very fast. And these days our children attention span is very short, right? I mean, can't help it now with all the technology stuff going on. Do you know, for leafy vegetables, how long does it take for us to harvest, to grow to
leafy vegetables? Probably a few weeks.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks minimum. 6 to 8 weeks. Also, it can be quite long. So microgreens only 7 days. Okay, only 7 days, which is really fast. So my top 3 reasons to growing microgreens is because it's super easy and fast to grow them, like the steps I show you. Okay, and best thing is it doesn't require a lot of space. So like I share, like for those who are staying in apartments, don't have much balcony space, microgreens is a very, very good solution and it's nutrient rich. This is the most key one for me.
Yeah.
So what are some ways to have microgreens? Like you can just simply, we try not to cook it because once you cook it, the nutrients will be lost because of the heat. So you just sprinkle it over your omelette, your eggs, your toast.
Wow, this looks so sumptuous.
Yeah. It looks very Instagrammable also. So all my students, when they want to make their food look pretty, they will just add some microgreens. Immediately it will elevate. Right? A bowl of noodles, anything, you just sprinkle over with it. Look at this. This come from my students. So these ideas came from my students where they go and eat zui kueh, then they bought zui kueh and then they put the microgreens. Wow, I say this $1.50 zui kueh become $4.50, isn't it? Right, and then the one in the middle is I have clients who have to go back to office and work now, right? Everything is open up now.
Yeah.
So she says she pack it in a container, like she wash and then she pack it in a container, and then during lunchtime she will just pair it with whatever she wants to eat. So at least she feels that I'm not missing out vegetables, which is a really good way. And I've been using this to share to all my other students subsequently. Okay, so and then just to share, some parents here may think that I can never grow anything. I don't have green fingers. I grow anything will die, Like look at this student of mine. For 40 years, she couldn't grow anything. But she is now one of my best students. She's not from Singapore because I also teach people because I do a lot of online back then during pandemic time. And now she's teaching microgreens in Malaysia. She's growing and then gifting it to her family or friends. Yeah. So 99% of my students, when they come in, they say no green finger. All have no green finger. But microgreens is so forgiving. It is so easy, and I want to assure everyone, it's the first thing that you can attempt, just like growing seedlings or sprouts, and you can cut and eat it somewhat, and it's nutritious. Okay. So these are some of what my other students are saying. So they always grow a variety, because I always say don't say that just because I say broccoli is good, real cabbage good, then you eat these two all the time. You should have a variety. Okay. And then so these are at the blackout stage. It still doesn't look green yet. You see the one on the right is basil. So you can grow basil at microgreen stage as well, and you can harvest it and make pesto sauce.
When you say blackout, how do you, as in what you do to block out the lights?
Just basically don't let it see any light. You can use something to cover it, like use a cupboard to cover it. So that the just like it's exactly like how we grow bean sprout tauge. We also don't let it see light. Yeah. So you can see this is my students, they enjoy. So those who have balcony space, they will take it out and sun it for a while. But basically microgreens don't need direct sunlight. So if you don't have sunlight, I can grow it at home also without any sunlight, because they don't need direct sun. In fact, they will not survive under direct sun. So this student only put it out just for 1 hour, then she will bring it back in again into the house. So this is another student of mine. He works in hospital, so he learned, and then now he's also teaching his patients as a hobby, or something that they can do as an activity. All right, his first time, he was so excited, he couldn't imagine that he could grow something. Right, so this one, always growing non-stop. She's growing it every day. Like every day, she will have microgreens on her meals for the whole family. Okay, this one I want to share for especially parents. Now this she's not the first one. I have many more, but this student allowed me to share this on social media. So she said that this is actually her granddaughter. Her granddaughter never eat vegetables. Never eat vegetables. Could never eat any vegetables. So when I conduct the workshop, I say get your granddaughter involved. let her sow the seeds. Let her water the plants every day. Let her harvest, take a scissors and cut it. Right? Usually I recommend use knife, but it's okay for children, you just use scissors. And because this whole journey, this whole process, she was more willing to try because it's fun and interesting, and she didn't know what is it. And she was very surprised that she was willing to eat it, and look at that big mouthful that she ate just now. And when I interview a lot of students, when they bring in their children, then I'll ask the kids, I say, hey, why you don't eat vegetables, cai xing and broccoli, all this? Why are you willing to eat this? Most of them give me a similar feedback. It's because they say it's not tough, it's very soft. And you know why? It's because it's not fibrous. Because at microgreen stage, it's very tender, super tender. You almost don't feel any fiber, don't feel any fiber at all. So when there's no fiber, it's easy for them to chew. So a lot of children, you see, if you force them to eat, some children, if you force them to eat, they will chew, but they won't swallow. They will chew. They just don't swallow. And the reason is because it's tough. They don't like that feeling of going down the throat. Okay. I have more serious one where the moment the food haven't even touched the mouth, they start to gag already. The moment they see. So that one is actually some emotional eating that have to be worked on. That will be obsession. But most of the children that I have guided, or when I use microgreens to approach, they're more willing to try, Of course, parents, I will teach you some tips how to hide the microgreens first. You don't openly, put it in, because if those that really, the moment they see the color green, they will say no, then you have to hide it first. Be smart about it first. So who is microgreens, who is it for? It's basically for people who are, like I mentioned, vegetarian, plant-based, easy, nutrient boost, first-time grower, or even you are a flexitarian. And this thing, I truly call it organic. Why? Because we don't need to use any new fertilizer or even pesticides, because 7 days only. 7 days to grow. The pests don't even have time to come. So then you go to harvest already. Pests come usually from about week 3, week 4 onwards, depending. The moment you put fertilizer, pests will start to come when you grow it on soil. Okay, so this microgreens, I can dare say, is truly organic, although we don't call it organic, but basically you don't need to use any of these things. That's why it's organic, right? You use organic seeds, organic soil. Water, you use filtered water if you want to, but actually not necessary. Our Singapore water is actually very, very good already. Okay, so just now in the beginning of the show, when we start, you mentioned that kids these days, actually it's ironic to say that in developed country like us, we see malnutrition. We see malnutrition. It's because of the food that we eat. We don't have enough nutrients. We are eating empty calories food. So-called empty calories food. Okay. So my boys, they are so used to it now. Like if sometimes we pack from outside chicken rice, they will just go and grab some microgreens and add on. I also have a hydroponic system. Sometimes they will just go and cut some lettuce and add on to their fishball noodles. Yeah. Okay, so today they enjoy doing gardening with me. At least they understand, and it actually helps in their science. I realize, like my boys, in terms of the plant system, they can understand the concepts very well and very quickly. So I do encourage all parents to let your children get involved in some gardening. If you're afraid of soil, therefore when I teach, I do teach soilless method as well. Okay, in case those who are really very they really don't like to touch soil. Okay, yeah. So before I move on, any questions for me, John, so far?
At the moment, no lah. What I can think of, because just now you mentioned that there are 3 benefits, right? And I was thinking about the 4th benefit lah. Yeah, especially right now with inflation, there is, and you can't see the end yet. One of the benefits of growing your microgreens is you can grow your own food. Yeah.
Exactly. Remember during pandemic, we nearly have no food supply from Malaysia, right? Yeah. So this is something to think about. So allow me to share. So
Please do.
people ask, so people ask, oh, then what can I how can I learn more? So I actually curated a workshop that I've been teaching close to 500 packs now in the last 2 years. So I will cover more in depth of even why microgreens. I will let you understand the logic, like what is so special about these microgreens, the difference between microgreens and sprouts, and everything you need to know about growing microgreens. I teach you all techniques from soil to soilless base, growing on water. So tauge no need lah. Tauge is actually considered sprouts. So which I will explain also in my workshop why we do microgreens first and not sprouts. Okay. And more importantly, I will go through the troubleshooting tips, because when it comes to gardening, it's never 100%. It's not like a machine made guaranteed one, sui one. No. So especially in our weather, because of the high humidity, mold tend to come. So, but if you follow my 10 steps, my students successfully can grow microgreens without any issue. Okay. Yeah. So this is something that I'm different because I emphasize a lot on this, and how to prepare the microgreens and ways to have them and the benefits. I will also share recipes. So what is unique about my workshop is also it's a 3 hours workshop. I provide starter kit, so you don't have to bring anything out. Everything will be provided to you. And those starter kit, you can reuse it over and over and over again. You don't have to buy anything more except seeds and soil. That's it. Okay, and water on your own. And I also have a private group support. So after the workshop, I will continue to support you every day until you harvest. Any questions you have, because I think this is very important. I personally, I attend a lot of workshops as well myself, and I feel very handicapped when I leave the workshop, then I have questions, and the trainer said that, okay, you can email, but I need to know the answer now. Like if I email, it may take few hours, the fastest, or even maybe 1 or 2 days, then my plant may die already, you know. Right. So I insist to have this kind of support for all my students who take on my workshops, although it's considered easy, but for beginners, actually for people who are beginners to farming, it may be tricky for you, right? But like John, you do some kind of seedlings and sprouts, people you roughly know, but there are people who never touched all this before. Okay. And so for my February workshops, I have these 3 dates. Okay. And I can share more details. So this is like red cabbage. So how beautiful it is in terms of the colors, right?
So it might, if you go back to the dates, because I think it's important.
Yeah. So I do in-person. My in-person will be very small group, limited to about 5 packs only. 1 on a weekday and 1 on weekend, and then I have an online session as well. Yeah. Okay, so y'all can take down the dates, and then later y'all can DM me if you are interested.
Okay, actually I'm interested lah. I think one of the common questions from parents will be like Wednesday 10 to 1, my kid is in school, and my kid is the one with green fingers. I mean, my middle child is the one with green fingers. She would love to come for this workshop.
Yeah.
So how does it work for?
They'll come for the weekend class.
Weekend class 9 to 12, 9 a.m. lah.
Yeah, 9.
Okay.
9 to 12. Or Zoom session is also effective. Like actually 80% of my students I teach are from Zoom, and they still grow very well.
Okay.
So you can consider that as well, if you don't want the kids to travel in and out.
When you say in session, means we go to your
in person, come to
site.
my place. Yeah.
Okay. Which is in where will it be?
It will be in Woodlands.
Got it.
Okay. So this is the red cabbage ready to harvest in 7 to 9 days. Yeah. So for those who are interested and want to reach out to me, you can follow me on my Facebook page, Dina Sim, right? And or want to contact me via WhatsApp, you can scan this QR code, or you can follow me for more tips, because I like to share like school recess ideas. I think this is also something. I don't know, for me, when I visited the school and I look at the canteen food, everything is brown color. My eyebrow were just, so I try to, when my boys were younger, like P1 to P3, I let them take food from home every day. But now that they're older, sometimes they want to eat their friends, all that. So I say, okay, 3 days pack from home, 2 days you can eat in school lah. Yeah. So I always share a lot of school recess ideas that parents can prepare for the children to bring to school. Okay, so you all can follow me. So besides, so I mentioned I do one-to-one coaching, group coaching as well. I just started group coaching because I feel that more people need to be reached. I do supermarket tour to understand how to read ingredients and labels. Yeah, maybe we can do another session on that as well. I do corporate events also, like a lunch and learn. Do corporate talks, so things like this. And the 4 topics that I mentioned, that's what I did in the past as well. Okay, so I have also microgreen grow kits as gift for if you want to start off. Those very simple kits with some simple instructions. Okay, and then I have a hydroponic system from my previous work. Yeah, I have this grow box system because I know the LED, the specs they use is a very good one and very easy to maintain. Okay, so all my followers or my customers or clients, and because of what I do, I always look out for products that is convenient or whole food for my client. Some things like a fish sauce or some sauces. So I always get it at a wholesale price, and then I'll just share this, pass on this discounted price to all my clients as well. Okay, so you can follow me. Somehow I'll just share the promo code. You all can get it at a special price. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for me already. Anything else? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Dina, thanks so much for sharing. Okay, if for parents, because I think most of them are probably having their dinner right now, and if they look at this, they'll want to go for the microgreen diet. Yeah. Okay, parents, please go on. Yes.
No, I would say,
because maybe we can stop share screen first, then we have a wrap up.
Can.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, because I say it with confidence, is because looking at the pool of students that I have, the feedback, the success rate, how microgreens actually improve their health or even their family's health, because I also have a small pool of cancer so-called students who have cancer. They find that it's really good for them, and for those with younger kids, they see the involvement, they see it as something, activities to do, and it's so easy. 7 days, nothing you can beat that already. There's a reason why I don't want to start with sprouts first, which I will share more when you all join the workshop. So I would say, if you want to try something on your own, please start with microgreens first. Okay. Yeah, of course, bean sprouts is easy. Bean sprouts is still okay, but don't do alfalfa sprouts or broccoli sprouts on your own. Yeah, because our weather is too humid, there will be bacteria that you cannot see, our eye cannot see. So microgreens is a safer bet for first-time growers.
Wow. Yeah. Now I'm speechless, because I'm just like so mind blown, and I start to question myself, like what are the food I ate and I shouldn't have eaten them. So I'm like pretty much speechless now.
Something I always tell my clients, because all my clients, they don't work with me forever. No, I try to discharge them, because my approach is I try to do a lot of education piece, because I want them to learn how to eat well. I don't need to be there all the time, 24 hours. Hey, you cannot eat this, you cannot eat that, you have to eat more of this. They
Yeah.
actually learn from me when they go on my 3 weeks or 3 months or 6 months program. They learn fully whatever they need to learn, and then they know what to do for the next 20 years. Yeah, like recently I did a group coaching because of the Chinese New Year. I purposely do it just before Chinese New Year because I want them to learn how to deal with festive season. Because we have Chinese New Year every year, we have Christmas every year, right? You need to learn how to cope with it. So like even myself, I still enjoy some food, whatever food. Like I love luncheon meat, but I don't eat it every day. Once a while I eat it. Okay, bak kwa I also love, but it's only Chinese. So how to do portion control and all that, that's what I like to learn. So don't feel too bad like, oh, I've not been eating enough and I shouldn't be eating all this junk food. Tell you, with all the temptations and all the good marketing things, it's impossible. You walk down along your neighborhood, the bakery shop, you already, wow, I want to eat the waffle, I want to eat that muffin. How to resist, right? So instead, I like to always tell my clients or all the parents here, if yourself or your children wants to enjoy a fried chicken, let them. Okay, but make that up with maybe extra servings of vegetables. So I always tell my children, okay, you want to eat pizza tonight, right? Then you have to have extra green juice tomorrow, or you have to have more salads to go with the pizza. Yeah, and they learn that. They're used to it already. And they find that it's easy also, because sometimes when you eat too much of all this, because especially Christmas, we were meeting a lot of friends eating pizza and until they say, too oily, too greasy. They will say, can we have something light, So children is like that. They don't know what they don't know. It's actually the parents who teach them. Like today I went to supermarket and I overheard a parent say, do you want to eat potato chips? Like the children didn't ask for the potato chips, but the mother actually, say that, do you
Maybe
want to
she
eat
wants
potato
to eat,
chips?
and then but she asking the child to get it for her.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think one key message I want all parents, especially mothers, okay, I coming myself, because I think when the children are still young, mothers is the one, we hold the key to the nutrition to our children, whether what they eat and all that. So if we want to break the cycle, because me coming from my mom is a Malaysian. I mean, she's married to Singapore, but coming from Malaysia, the food is high fat, high carbs, high so-called. I grew up eating keropok every day. It's like a norm. To me, I didn't know that keropok is bad. Like it's a must to have keropok every day.
And since we didn't reach as well, it's like
it's like
on the table.
one big tin my mom will fry every week one. So I didn't know all this until I grew up. I was sick often, then I go and study, then I know all this. So parents, please watch what you give to your children, because they will be influenced by you. They wouldn't want to go and eat that unless they wouldn't know. Like my children don't know how to eat sweets, because I never let them eat sweets before. Yeah. So okay.
And what you say is very true, because I think the kids model after the parents, and how the kids behave, be at home or in school, pretty much they pick the habits from home also. Yeah, so same thing. I always believe that what we eat is important, because it also gives us the energy. Yeah, eating the wrong food also drains us, and sometimes I feel that this kind of education should reach out to more parents, because sometimes they don't know what they're eating, or what they've been eating actually affects or makes their children feel very tired,
lethargic.
or hyper.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Great. Dina, thanks so much for sharing this.
Sure.
I'm one word to describe the whole thing is mind blowing. And
thank you.
and I start to question myself and remind myself to eat right. Yeah. So you got a follower from here. That's me.
Okay. Five,
Thanks so much.
5 feet size.
5 feet size.
Yeah.
Let me increase
Start
from
from
1.5 to 3 feet size first.
Yes. That's correct. It's a progress. So long you progress. Just like
Solid.
education, right?
Yeah.
Just like doing math, you do 1 page, then increase to 3 page, increase to 5 pages.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Okay, parents, if you want to contact Dina, and I really encourage you to contact her and check in with her. And if you need support in terms of healthier diet, happier wife, happier life, you can reach her at facebook.com/Dina.Sim or Instagram health actually with Dina. One continuous, like there's no space in between. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Please contact her if you think that you can benefit from such coaching, because the price to pay for getting sick, I think, is higher than getting all this knowledge and making sure that we eat right. Yeah. Otherwise, the money also goes to the doctor, right?
Exactly. I spend a lot of money on doctors, supplements and all that. So yeah, coming back to basic, I would say.
Got it. Thanks so much. Okay, don't go off first. Let me just stop the live stream. See, today my mind block. Live stream. Yeah, parents, I'll see you around, and make sure that I think with 2 more days to CNY, probably you still can low here a bit more. Just be mindful about what you put into your mouth, okay? Bye bye. Happy New Year again.